but you know what time it is.
Yo, you know what it is, y'all. It is your man, Chris Courtney here in Texas, Florida. Y'all know that song.
We
We
got
say
that
thank
Tina
up,
these
y'all.
things, yeah,
Check it out,
yeah. So
y'all.
you know
Come
what
on.
I'ma
What we gonna
do.
do?
Let's
Come on.
go. We
We
gon'
gone,
pass
Pat.
go, check,
Heck
yeah. Come
yeah.
around this thing, oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Put a patch right
That's right there, right there, right
there. Smooth
there.
chemicals, oh yeah,
Yo,
we
look, y'all.
gon'
I am, I am out. I, I can't find the word about the excitement that I have about right now to have this amazing woman on here. This not just business owner. She has one, two, three. Count them. Uno, dos, tres yoga studios in the Atlanta. Is it the Atlanta area?
It's
Oh my
Atlanta.
gosh. Listen, I tried to own one gym and that ain't work. But listen, y'all, we're gonna be talking about this amazing thing, this amazing device called Super Patch, and what it has been doing not only for everybody, but this woman right here. Monica Graham is on the live right now. Monica, how you doing today?
I am doing well. I am doing well. Blessed to be here and thankful that you have me here.
Oh, I am thankful. I'm telling you, whenever I can sit down and talk with somebody about what one they do, two what the super patch has done for them, and to be able to share it with so many people, it is a blessing. So please, real quick, share with the people like who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Monica Graham. I am a fitness professional, master yoga trainer. I travel all over the United States training other instructors on how to become an efficient yoga instructor, not just a yoga instructor, an efficient yoga instructor. I specialize in form. I have been in the fitness industry about 30 years, owning studios in Missouri, California, and now Atlanta. So, my whole purpose is to help other people through wellness and fitness.
So let me tell you something. I'm already just I'm trying to contain all the questions and all of because being a certified personal trainer, being a certified stretch practitioner, being in the industry, also having my previous podcast called Black Fitness Matters, like you are someone I would talk to for 85 million hours, right? I'm talking about talking from the length and breadth of the industry is like, yes, you are a wealth of knowledge. Tell the people like a few things about being in the industry. Why do you love health and fitness so much? Why do you love helping people in that area so much?
Well, it started with my own family that has a history of a lot of health issues, from diabetes to high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and even cancer. All of the women, especially on my dad's side, are obese. And growing up, I saw that, and I just said I didn't want to grow up and be like them. So early on, I was just said that no, I'm going to get into fitness. So by the time that I got to college, because growing up, nobody in my family nor in my neighborhood was doing fitness or pushing anything on fitness. They was just eating fat backs and getting bigger. So by the time I got to college and was able to, look and learn things on my own, that's really when my fitness career started in college. And the reason that it started helping, it was kind of like an accident, because I had started getting into health and fitness my own self. I was obese as well because that's what I grew up as, an obese person. So I started, I joined the local gym and started working out, and realized that I was actually good at it. And
Mhm.
one day an instructor didn't show up for a step aerobics class, and everybody was like, well, Monica, you can teach the class. And I'm like, no, I can't. And they was like, yes, you can. They keep all the music here. You know all the moves. You know all the steps. Let's just do it. And I'm not afraid to try anything. So I was like, okay. So I went through their music and I grabbed the music and I put it on. And wow, it's all I can say because it just came to me naturally. And I seen how people responded to me and how they enjoyed it. And for that moment right there, I made the decision that I was going to do this for a living.
Wow. Wow. See, I tripped over health and fitness, right? Because being an entrepreneur, my first love is barbering. I'm a barber by trade. Then after that was DJing, and then somebody called me and said, "Hey, man, I saw that they doing a free scholarship at UNF to become a certified personal trainer." But I had just saw a commercial about it one day, and I was like, "You know what? Okay, God, what is it you're trying to tell me?" So I got my first certification, but it wasn't until I saw the differences that it was making in people's lives, right?
See?
Not just from an aesthetic standpoint, but from an overall life changing standpoint. And so,
Yes,
speaking about life changing, please tell the people what happened in your life, then transition to why we're here. This medical device, this drug free medical device. The floor is yours.
well, God does amazing things, and sometimes He takes us through things that we don't understand when it's happening, why it's happening, and we learn later. And I'm going to forever say this whole ordeal of my health was God's way of not only bringing me to Super Patch, but to allow me to help other people and to expand my business of wellness and fitness. So in January of 2025, I just randomly woke up and did not have feelings in my hands and arms. Like literally, imagine going to bed. You went to bed just fine. But then when you wake up, the first thing you realize is I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my arms. And that freaked me out. So, of course, I started, going to different doctors, and they all had a different diagnosis of what was wrong with me. And I continued to get worse. I continued to get worse. 3 months in, I still did not have feelings. So, my daytime job, I was a software engineer. Notice I said was. I was a software engineer, in which required me to work with my hands. It was typing and writing, which I can no longer do because I couldn't feel my hands. I also have a cake business where I ship cakes all over the United States. Again, that requires my hands. Cannot use my hands. And then, of course, as Chris told you, my yoga studios. Well, again, yoga still requires my hands. So everything was taken away from me, and I just didn't understand. Like, God, why is this happening to me? 3 months in, I'm not making any money. No money's coming in because as an entrepreneur, you only get paid when you work, in those type of businesses. So by March, I went to urgent care. And I mean, because it was just bad. I was really depressed. I went into a deep depression because I became 100% dependent on other people. Somebody who's always helping people and doing things for others, I was no longer able to do for myself. So that was really messing with my mental health. So I went to an urgent care, and the physician there was just flat out honest with me and said that he was concerned that he think that I was having some deep neurological problems and that I needed to see some specialists. And he was honest. He's like, I'm not going to pump you up with medications. I'm not going to tell you to go do this. He said, I want you to go talk to somebody who specializes in this. I I'm going to So he gave me some names of some neurologists. And of course, with any specialist, especially a good specialist, you can't just get right in. So
Nope.
it took me 3 months to get in. So this was March. So I had to wait until June to go see these specialists. All this time that's happening, I'm losing more feeling. It's then got down into my legs and my feet. I'm like
Wow.
miserable. And I mean, my mental health was gone. Like I didn't want to be around anybody. I wasn't talking to nobody. Very, very depressed, crying daily. I cry every time I tell this story, so excuse me. So June comes around, and keep in mind, I had just opened. I was new to Atlanta. I moved here from California with the sole purpose of opening up yoga studios. And right after I opened the studios, this happened to me. So you can't start a new business, especially when you are the business. You start a business and then you're no longer there. So you have to depend on other people to keep this going. And other people are just not me. And then it's not their business, so they don't have the passion. So they're not going to do things in the way that you saw fit. So the business is struggling during this time. And during this time that administration changed, and the DEI programs is pulled away. I was, had got approved for a loan, a SBA loan that was never dispersed to me because of the DEI. So already financially, I'm just like struggling. I'm not having any money coming in. And, so, we're self-financing this, keeping this studio going. So then I find out that my spinal cord was crushed My nerves was wrapped completely around my spinal cord, and I had bone spurs. This is why I didn't have feeling. Did this happen overnight? No. I had just been misdiagnosed for so long that it continued to get worse. So by the time they figured out what was wrong with me, I need an emergency surgery, a spinal surgery, spinal fusion, in fact, where there was issues in my spine from C2 all the way down to C3. And if you know anything about the spine, you know the top is the cervical spine, the middle is your thoracic spine, and the bottom is the lumbar spine, and with an S1 there. So my spine was the spinal cord was crushed, and you know the spine. It's the root of our body. You know, with no spine, you don't have a body. Everything is controlled from your central nervous system. That's what the spinal is. And so it was crushed, and I didn't have feeling. So I had to have this surgery. And they told me in this surgery that your life is going to change. You're going to lose 40% of your mobility or more, depending on how things are, because we're not going to know until we get inside. Your likelihood of you doing yoga again is going to be slim to none. And it's a possibility you may never walk again. This is the diagnosis that they told me. But you need this surgery. One thing that we know for sure, if you don't have this surgery, you will become paralyzed. So it became, you know, life altering. So I had this surgery against everything. I did all type of research. I did not want to have this surgery. I did it. But I also did not want to risk paralyzation. So I had the surgery. And let's just say, to speed this story up, it got worse. The surgery did not help me. It got worse. Not only did not get my feeling back, I lost all of my mobility. Not 40%. I lost all of my mobility. Yes, I could walk, but I couldn't lift my arms on my own. I could barely go to the restroom on my own. I couldn't even eat on my own. My husband had to feed me. Even drinking something, my husband had to put the straw up to my mouth for me to drink. It was that bad. So fast forward to, I went in for my 6-month checkup. They said that I was gonna continue to get better. 6 months in, which brought us to this January of this year, I still did not have feeling. And I still could not do things on my own. And I went in for my checkup, and they told me that, your spinal cord, you know, it could take up to 2 years to heal. Let's do some more testing. They did more testing. They was like, the likelihood of you getting your feeling back is slim to none, because now you have a lot of spinal damage. You know, you have nerve damage. I mean, you have nerve damage. So I went so long with those issues that my nerves became damaged. So they told me the likelihood of me getting my feeling back was slim to none. So of course that depressed me even more. You know, I was just defeated. If I'm being honest, I was just totally defeated. So, I through this whole time I've been telling my story on social media. You know, I decided, if I can tell this story and help one person, you know, maybe if somebody hear this, they'll go to a specialist and get the help, and it won't get as drastic as mine. So if I can help one person, you know, I'm still doing what I like to do. I help people. So I made a post. And this is what's so special about it. You know, when you think of things going viral, it's normally videos, because videos are eye-catching. Well,
Mm-hmm.
this was a post. It wasn't a video. It was just a post with a picture of me. And there's a few tears in my eyes in this picture. This post went viral. People all over the world started contacting me, praying for me, offering me advice, and doing different things. And then that post landed on the timeline of Dr. Bramwell, who I did not know. We were not Facebook friends or anything, but you know how when things go viral, it just goes through all people's pages. And at the time, she too was a person who wasn't, you know, didn't really reach out to people on social media. But Nina had been telling her that she needs to get outside her comfort zone. So I was the first person she decided to take a chance on. So she saw my story, and she, you know, thinking of Super Pat. She was like, I think I can help this young lady. So she reached out to me on Facebook Messenger. Again, this is a story and how, you know, God is leading things, because I'm so popular. I get over 100 direct messages a day in my inbox, over 100 daily. So most times I don't even read those messages, or I have somebody filter them. I don't know what it was, but the spirit led me to open up the one from Dr. Bramwell. And in this message, she said, I think I have a device that can help you. And she explained who she was, that she was a physician. And she told me she typically don't do this, but it was something about my story or my eyes that she wanted to reach out to me. And she took a chance. And she said to herself, chances are, with her being this popular, and she's probably getting a lot of messages, she's probably not going to respond. Well, I responded. I responded. And when she told me about these patches, she sent me a video. Initially, I was not open to it because another patch company had reached out to me and I
Mm.
tried those patches. And I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but what I will say is it did not cure my it did not bring me any feelings back or anything. So
Okay.
I was very reluctant to try another patch because I had tried this. But she was like, no, this is different. She's I've heard of that company. And again, not to say anything bad about that company, but we are different. I think you should try this. But I was still apprehensive. So she reached out to some other people, and I believe they were in the medical field who were using the patches, who also used the patches from this other company. And they was just like, please try it. And when they was telling me these testimonies and stories, I was like, well, why not? She asked me where I lived. I told her in the Atlanta area. And she said, well, we're going to have an event this weekend. One of my business partners are going to be there patching people. Can we come and patch you? I don't have nothing to lose at this point. I'm willing to try everything. And she was a physician, so I trusted her. So I went to the patch event, which Nina was doing the patch event in Atlanta, and they brought me up there. And Nina and Tedra started putting the Fab Five patches on me. Nina was putting them down my right arm, and Tedra was putting them on my shoulders. And within 60 seconds, for the first time in over a year, my hands started moving. My
Man.
hands, I had not had sensation and feelings in my hands in over a year. So I was blown away. And if you see the video, you can see my face. I was like, what is happening? Well, I mean, it was very, very emotional. And like I said on the video, and I'll continue to say, at that moment, it was not immediately 100%. Not, but it was 10%, about 10%. But that was 10% more feeling that I had not had, that
Yeah.
surgery didn't even give me.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want people to think I'm crazy, honestly, because I had been going through this for so long. So I didn't tell anybody. So I had started back teaching in my studio with my mouth. Being a trainer, I know how to lead people and guide them by telling them what to do and correcting their form. So I don't have to show the moves. It's good to show the moves, but at this point, I'm trying to save my business. So I knew I had to come back. So the Saturday before I got patched, when I taught the class, I just walked around telling people what to do. That Sunday, January the 11th, I got patched. I didn't tell anybody. I started getting feeling. By Tuesday, when I woke up, my feeling had increased. By went every day, I got a little bit more feeling. By day 6, when it was time for me to go back into the studio and teach again, not only did I teach the class physically, I did 100% of the class with no pain, no issues. My balance was back. Let me back. I don't know if I told you, I had lost all my balance. When I say I lost my mobility, I lost my balance. So I couldn't even stand on one leg. Imagine being a master yoga trainer, can do all type of moves, that was no longer able to do that. So I wasn't able to do that. But that Saturday, day 6, after getting patched, I 100% did the full class, and I did all my balance and moves. And somebody, even my class, even yelled out, what kind of super drugs are you on? Somebody literally yelled it out in class. And as I was going through it, I was like, yo, whoa. Like, my balance was stronger than it had ever been. I felt so strong. Like, I felt like Superwoman. If you couldn't tell me that I couldn't go outside and fly. So by day 7, I was at about 60 to 65% feeling in my
Come
hand.
on now.
After
Come on.
1 week of patching and wearing the Fab Five every day, I had about 65% feeling in my hand. And at that time, I said it's time to talk and tell the story. So I went live on social media
Uh-huh.
and told the story about these patches. And then I decided to join the company as an ambassador. And that's my story. And here I am today. It's 2 months, it's not even a full 2 months that I've been wearing the patches. And I would say I have about 85 to 90% feeling back in my hands. And the reason that it's not 100% is probably something Super Patch cannot, because there's some issue with my muscles that needs to happen to be worked on physically. But for the most part, I am 100% back to doing everything that I was doing before all this happened. And I give all that
Wow.
credit to God first, because God is the one who brought this to
Come
me.
on.
And then,
Come
of
on.
course, Super Patches.
Come on. Come on. Now, so I got a bunch of questions in my mind. First of all, what's the first cake did you bake? Did you bake a cake yet?
The
What's
first
the first
cake
cake?
I did. The first cake that I baked was my signature cake, which was a caramel pecan cake. That was the first cake that I
A
baked on my
caramel
own.
pecan cake. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And so here's another thing. And not just because I am one, but big shout out to your husband. You know what I'm saying? Like, you said put put the drink with the straw to your mouth and took care of you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you got big shout out to your husband, you know what I'm saying, for taking care of you and your support circle. You know what I mean? Because
Yes,
think about it.
yes.
You are a helper. You are a person that is very independent. You're doing all this stuff, and now you have to depend on your circle. So we thank God for your circle as well. Now
100.
listen. I know the people been asking, how much did you get paid? How much did you get paid to be an actor to do this? Did you get paid anything to be an actor? Are you an actor? Are you telling a fib?
It's funny that you say that because people have said that because I have such a huge following and people, if I go out there and put a pie out there, people are going to buy it because I say it. So they ask because I do get sponsored by a lot of fitness companies, when I wear their brand and I do things in my retreats, they give me those things. So people do ask me, so what Super Patch giving you for coming on here telling that story?
Come on.
Super Patch ain't gave me nothing.
Come
I'm
on.
doing all this on my own. Of course, Super Patch ain't gave me nothing but my feelings back.
Say that. Come on, somebody. So, cause see, this is the thing why I'm so excited, right? This is the thing that gets me over the top, like where I have to contain myself because I know what it's done for me, right? I know what it felt like to be in immense pain and not be able to train people, right? Not be able to perform a demonstration of an exercise because I could barely turn my head and my neck. I could barely lift my arm. Now, even when having knee pains, not being able to do lunges and squats and different things like that, to now in my mind, in my trainer mind, to wake up and not be able to use my body, period.
Imagine that. Imagine what that would do to your mental health.
And so it's please just tell the people real quick, like what all has it given you back? What this
It's
patch,
giving
putting
me
this
my
patch
life
on.
back.
Uh-huh.
It's giving me my life back because when I tell you depression is real, depression is a real thing. And I was really depressed. I mean, you're talking about a woman who not only did everything for herself that helped others to where I could not do any, I couldn't even pull up my pants, Chris. I could not pull up my pants and button them. I couldn't put my own bra on, you
Mm-hmm.
know. At 54 years old, these are things that I couldn't do on my own. So what has Super Patches done for me is giving me my life back. I'm able to do all these things on my own. And not just that, now I pride myself everywhere I go, everything I do, I keep the Fab Five patches with me. And I look for people that's in pain or suffering. I look through stories or whatever, and I patch them. So it allows me to continue helping other people while I'm still helping myself.
So you speak about the Fab Five. Let the people know. I know what are the Fab Five?
The
Help me
Fab
out.
Five. Freedom first. Freedom is going to help you with that pain. Then there's victory that's going to just add to that with that performance. And then there's liberty. That's the base of it. The liberty. That's what gave me my stability and balance back. That
Uh,
had me balancing on one leg again and doing my handstands again. Then there's peace. What peace has done for me, peace helped to pull all the stress out of. I
mm,
had a bunch of stress knots and things in my body. And my husband's a massage therapist. So he worked on my body a lot. He knows my body well. He's like, those patches are doing something because you no longer have those knots. What happened to
wow.
him? What is going on? He's just like, okay, what's really going on? Like, he's not understanding this. And then there's the fin. The fin helps with the blood flow. We talked about not having feeling in a numbness. So, when you have tight muscles, when your muscles are extremely tight, it prevents the oxygen getting to the muscles as it should, and it limits your blood flow. Well, that's why I said I still have some issues with the muscles, they were working on. But the fin, it increased the blood flow. It got the fingers moving again. It gave me feeling again. And, with that, being in Atlanta now, because I moved here from California and my sinus is here. I didn't have sinus problems until I came to
Mm,
Atlanta, so it's helping me with that. So those are the Fab Five. And I still
wow.
wear them daily. I've added some other patches in because,
Uh-huh.
being an ambassador for it, I want to speak into it. I don't want to just tell people it works. I
Yeah.
want to speak from experience. So I wear other patches to see how I help, so that when I talk about these patches and when I try to sell them to people and get them, I can tell them from experience, because
Come on.
experience is the best teacher.
Uh-huh. Well, I have to take a quick selfish moment because you being a master trainer, you being in the fitness industry for over 30 years, and then I started massage therapy school back in November. I had to take a little break. You know what I'm saying? But it's interesting that you and your husband both do the things that I am doing or desiring to do. So when I come back to Atlanta, I'm finna take y'all to dinner, and I'm finna pick y'all brain.
We're gonna give you a massage. We're gonna let you get a massage, and I'm gonna give a stretch session for you.
But no, I just wanted people to hear your testimony because it's one of those things where you gotta hear it, but because people don't believe, but you're a regular human being. Like you are a person that has been doing all these things, and this has happened to you and for you, and you're not the only one
Yes.
whose life has been changed by these amazing super patches.
No.
So
But
so
look how I'm moving my
before
head. Just look at this, Chris. Just look
I,
at look at me how I'm moving
come
my
on,
head.
come on.
Look at this. I got 7 screws and titanium in my neck, and they told me I would never be able to do this again. Look at
Wow. Wow. That's come on, God. Like this is when you
come on,
when people
come on,
pray
God.
for a solution and then praying for a solution for a long time and then you finally get it. Like you were open. Like aside from Dr. Bramwell being Dr. Bramwell, like, see, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that reaches out to people like you, and you got a thousand other people like me reaching out to people like you that don't have the MD or the DR next to the name that sits in limbo sometimes,
Sure.
right? Could have great
Right.
intentions and everything like that. But aside from the DR and the MD on Dr. Bramwell's name, what made you say I'm gonna give her a shot?
I was gonna say it was God. It was the Spirit. I'm just gonna say that because again, I don't read most of those messages, and I just seen it, and I was just like a doctor reaching out to me. And remember, I said so many people have been reaching out to me, praying with me, and all that. She was the first doctor too, so it could have been the fact that she was a doctor, and then she wasn't pushy. She said, "I believe I have a device to help you if you're open to listening." So there it was, a doctor reaching out to me, telling me that she has a device that she thinks that can help me. She wasn't asking me for anything but a few minutes of my time just to listen. Why wouldn't I listen? Why wouldn't I? I want my life back. So if anybody has anything to say, especially a doctor, I'm going to listen and see what they have to say. Now, if she would have started talking about some pills for me to take, I would have just went on about my business.
I
But the
got you.
fact that she said that it was natural, no pain, no medication, no side effects, no
Uh-huh.
drugs, I was
Uh-huh.
open to listening. The natural, because I'm a natural healer. So she came
Okay.
to me from a wellness, a holistic standpoint of view, and that's what really, really made me pencil in on it because it was holistic.
Wow. Wow. Well, look, I appreciate your time. I appreciate your testimony. I just one last thing that I do want to ask you because there's the physical testimony, there's the thing how your life has changed. Aside from that, what made you say, I'm going to be an ambassador and I'm going to use this as, let's say, the business stream as well? You follow what I'm saying? I know you had your because you could have just continued to be a customer. You follow what I'm saying? So what about the Super Patch customer? I mean the Super Patch company that you said, you know what, I'm going to attach me to this, and from a business standpoint.
It's simple. For one, first and foremost, you said business. I am a businesswoman. Number one. Number two, the main thing, the wellness, the ability to help other people. If it can help me, it can help other people. And a lot of people respect me. And as a customer, I can't push this. and not help people. What I will be doing is pushing somebody else's business. So again, I'm a businesswoman. So being a businesswoman and knowing that this could help, why wouldn't I incorporate this into my business? Because people do listen and respect. So as an ambassador, I can learn as much as I can. I can get the product and I can use the product to help you so that you too can see and possibly have a testimony similar to mine or greater than mine. So as a customer, I couldn't do what I could really do. So that's why I decided to become an ambassador.
I got you. And lastly, I just thought about another question. What would you say? Please talk to, not what would you say? Please talk to the other massage therapist business owners, yoga studio business owners, Pilates studio business owners, anybody that has a business, a brick and mortar, or if you're mobile and you want to add a retail line that's going to truly help your clients. Please talk to them, and why should they give this a look?
Well, it's really simple. So you have a business, those type of businesses that you just mentioned, yoga, wellness, massage, chiropractor, all of those businesses have one thing in common: to help people. To help people get out of some type of pain element that's going on with their body, whether it's too tight, they need to stretch, they need a stress reliever, their body. All of those have one thing in common: to help people. So if there's a device that you can use in your business that helps you to help people, why not? Why not do it? Anybody that's in this profession should be a super batch ambassador and should be helping them, because this not going to take away from your business. It's only going to enhance your business. And listen to my husband, like I said, he's a massage therapist, and he works on me. So, he works hard. Those massage therapists, they use their elbows and everything and get into it and get into the pain and all those things, those that are true. But if you can put a patch on somebody that helps relieve the stress and pull that out, that make you work less, but it still gives you the ability to help the other people. So why not join?
I had we just had the Gate River Run here in Jacksonville. So I think it's 9 miles that they run and everything. What is that, a half marathon, I think? But I just had a client come in, and I already knew what she was going through, or what the stress that it put on the body, right? So as soon as she sat on the table, I put a peace patch on her. I needed to calm the nervous system down. I knew her muscles was going to be tight. I knew what was going on. And then she already had issue with her back. So I had her put a freedom patch right on her hip, right near where the pain was in her lower back. Because I wanted to hit everything in that area. You know what I'm saying? All the muscles in that area, wherever it was coming from. I said, boom, let's go ahead and put that in. Man, that lady said she's not been having the back pain that she's been having. She's been able to move and go like she needs to. She feels so much better. The stretch, actually, I felt the stretch different. I didn't feel as much resistance when I was stretching her. You know what I'm saying? And so I can always tell that. You might not feel like the stress, like, your mental stress is coming down, but the stress on the body, just like you say, your husband feels the stress knots in the body. We feel that. So listen, I thank you so much. You definitely, anytime y'all in Jacksonville or coming down to Florida, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to. Absolutely. Y'all know we do have, ladies and gentlemen listening right now, we do have our March Madness Super Saturday in Jacksonville here on March the 28th. Doors open at 3:45. Get here. I'm talking about if you're within 3, 4, 5 hours, we already have people flying in Jacksonville. We got people already driving. I mean, from a long distance. Get here, because I'm telling you, I'm trying not to go to church, but I gotta go to church. God is not a respecter of persons. He's not a respecter of persons. What he did for Monica, what he did for me, what he did for the thousands and thousands of people, he could do for you. This is the thing that you've been praying for. You've been looking for a solution. And we just want you to keep an open mind and open ears and check out the Super Patch. 95%. We have 90. No, nothing is 100%. We still got an A. 95% of people who use this product, A is an A. They get results. So we want you to get results. Monica, where can people find you? The people that don't know you, where can they find you on social media?
On Facebook, it's just Monica Graham. Instagram is MLGraham62. And on TikTok, it's MG Does Yoga.
MG Does Yoga. See, I'm a little bit tight. I could do it. Yoga. I kind of been running from yoga. I'm still a little tight in my hip area. So when I try to do the little the where you put the foot on the leg like that, and then don't even. I think you'll beat me up if I come to your class.
No. Next time we see each other, you get in the session. You get in the session.
All right.
It'll be a general session, but you go get the session.
Because I really want to get into it. Even like when we did before we went to Vegas, I was introduced to breath work as well. So yoga, breath work, stretching, like I want to be able to get my body. Yeah. So listen.
So imagine this. I could teach that. I could teach that to you to where you're able to do it for other people. And that too is going to help things, even with the patches, because the breath is another part of it.
Mhm.
You know, if you breathe right and allow the body to relax, the patches are going to work greater.
Come on.
That much I can tell you from this.
Come on, somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than the Monica Graham here on just a live chat on Facebook. What's up to my YouTube people? Y'all make sure y'all go follow her. If you're in the Atlanta area, you gotta go catch her classes, and just make sure that when you go see her, tell her you saw on Chris Courtney's live. All right, y'all.
Hey.
Man. So listen, y'all have an amazing Sunday. We love you, but more importantly, God loves you. Have an amazing week. Peace.